All right, welcome to Jeff Mayweather Show. My name is Alexz Iserman, joined as always by Jeff Mayweather and our other co-host, Ashley Ferreira. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good.
No complaints.
Can't complain. Well, I can complain because as always, we seem to have some problem kicking off this show. So we've got a great show scheduled tonight, but right now we're trying to get a hold of Mike Alvarado, so hopefully he'll be joining us here in a few minutes. Second half of the show, definitely going to be here tonight. Was supposed to be here last week, but Brian Vera will be joining us at the bottom of the hour, fresh off of his ESPN victory last week. And like I said, hopefully Mike Alvarado will be here in a few minutes with, maybe his, who knows how he's feeling fresh off that beating he sustained, albeit in a winning effort. So I'm sure he was happy to take that beating, but hopefully we'll get him here shortly. So with that said, Jeff, I know you were at the fight. Well, we'll save our thoughts on that. What's going on with you, Jeff? What's happened down at the gym? I haven't been there in a few days.
Well, I mean, not a whole lot. I mean, of course, like I said, around this time, the gym is extremely, extremely crowded, because of Floyd, and everyone wants to showcase their talents, even though Floyd's not even worried about that because he's focused on his own thing. But the gym is, extremely cluttered. One thing I've also learned is that the fight is definitely off with Adele Rose and dangerous.
Don Moore.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Oh, you just broke Ashley's heart there. What happened?
Well, I'm not gonna break her heart because it was Liddell who pulled out.
Is he hurt? I'm worried.
No, he's not hurt. He claimed he's not in shape. How could you not be in shape if you know about this fight for I don't know how long? But, it's one of those things also that I don't think everything was, 100% completely confirmed, because to be honest, the fight the day before is actually a Golden Boy show, but I'm sure that they wouldn't have no problem putting both of those guys on, two undefeated guys, and actually both guys that, even though they're not signed with Floyd, they still are, part of Mayweather boxing gym. So it would have been great for everybody in the gym because basically it's one of those situations. Of course, one of them would have to deal with, the flack of losing. But, Liddell, Don kind of, yesterday, all of a sudden they both had, confrontation face-to-face, and they was talking real loud, and so I wondered what was going on. And so then finally, Liddell just kind of said, well, I'm not in shape. Yeah, he said that. But, the thing is this, is realistically, May is what? That's a whole month away, and you have been training. So, that's not really a good excuse. That's not really a good excuse or a legitimate excuse. Yeah. So, don't get me wrong. But like I said, at the end of the day, I think it would have been better for him to say that the fight isn't confirmed. It wasn't 100% confirmed as to use, I'm not in shape as a reason not to fight when the fight's still over a month away. And you've been in the gym training, So, that's not a good look.
Right. Now, Jeff, tell me this then. You have two guys that are undefeated, but, like a lot of young, up-and-coming undefeated fighters, neither one of them have fought anybody worth anything. They've just fought opponents, building and padding their record. Now, this is the first time they're both were, looking to step in there with, let's say a quality opponent, someone undefeated, someone very similar to themselves with a good record. Not only that, but you have a chance, you're not on the main card, but you're the day before, you have all this media in town, you have a chance to impress people, a chance to show Floyd Mayweather that, hey, man, I want to be on the money team, which obviously they both want to. How in the world could, A, you not be in shape, and B, I guess just not take it seriously and want, even if, like you said, it's a month away, you can get in shape. You don't pass up this opportunity. How does that happen?
Well, like I said, it's one of those situations in which he would have been better off saying that, well, nothing's been confirmed, but I'm still going to train for it as though it is. you know, rather than saying that I'm not in shape, because, I mean, to everyone, whether, you know, I mean, everyone in the gym, because these guys have been talking about this, you know, for well over maybe a month and a half. And every day, you know, of course, Zach, you know how Zach is. Zach stirring the pot every day. And every time one walks in the gym, the other one says something to the other one. And it's almost like, you know, they're respectful enough not to fight, but they have, you know, they both have had some extremely heated arguments in the gym. And, you know, for you to turn around and say, I'm not fighting because I'm not in shape, I mean, that's a real bad look.
Now, do you think that...
Go ahead, Ashley.
I was just going to say, do you think behavior like that affects your ability to get fights in the future?
Well, I don't know. Me, as a promoter, I mean, of course, but I mean, this is just something that happened in the gym, so he's not really being seen by a promoter or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, it would, because that shows that, you know, I mean, even though you was talking the talk, you know, you wasn't really, you know, you're not really willing to walk the walk, because you don't say, I'm not in shape, you know. And here it is, this is a fight that's been building for, you know, for over 2.5 months, you know.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you both doing nothing but talking trash. And if you want somebody, you're going to be in shape. That's the least of your worries. And you still got a month to go.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jeff, let me ask you this. You know, he's not, okay, if Liddell's not in shape, he's not in shape, but, okay, it's not like he's like me out of shape or you know, the average person on the street. He might not be in fighting shape, but he's still a boxer, so he's still in, you know, really good shape for a normal person. So with that being said, how long does a boxer not in fighting shape really need to get into fighting shape? Is it a month and not long enough time?
A month is plenty of time when you've been an active fighter. You know, and that's the case. I mean, he's been a very active fighter, and I mean, the thing is, you know, I mean, Liddell's in shape. He's not out of shape. It's not like he's, you know, 50 pounds overweight. No, the kid, I've seen the kid. I mean, he's still shredded and everything else, just like, you know, how he looks when he's fighting. You know, but I mean, like I said, it's just not a good look when you say, I'm not in shape, when you've been talking about this for, you know, well over a month and a half, and now it's right around the corner. It's a month away, and now all of a sudden, the only thing you can reach in your basket and find is, I'm out of shape. It's not good.
And I interviewed Don maybe a week and a half ago or so, and he said that was going to be the main event the day before. Was that the case? And if so, do you have any idea what they're going to do instead?
I mean, I don't know if it was going to be the main event. I mean, you know, it could have been. It could have. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't think it could have made a main event because no one really knows either one of them.
That's what I thought.
They happen to be two guys that actually, you know, build records, you know, in states where, you know, records are built, you know. But, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, on paper it looks great, you know, and it is. Right. And I think that, you know, they both was going to give it their all, and it was, you know, it would have been a good fight, but I don't think it would have been a main event. It could have been a co-main, you know, because neither one of their names carry weight, and you're talking about, you know, on Cinco de Mayo weekend, I mean, you need a Latino, you know, headlining that card.
Yeah. You know, and I'm not sure, you know, every time I've been there, I always see Don. I know he works hard. I've seen Liddell in there times, but I don't think Liddell, he doesn't train full-time at Mayweather's gym, right? He just comes there at times. He's not a full-time member there, right?
No, I mean, what it is that, no, I mean, he's a full-time member there now because Big Floyd trains there. Unless, you know, because Big Floyd doesn't train anywhere else no more. He used to train at Tapas, but he no longer trains there. Okay. And he used to, for a little while when he was involved with 50 Cent, he was trained at Barry's, but he's no longer involved in that. So, no, I mean, Liddell,
because I can definitely...
He went home. Go ahead.
I'll just say, go ahead.
No, I think that, you know, he I don't know if he called himself taking vacation or what, but, I mean, he went home, and I don't know what it was for, but, I mean, he went home for a little bit.
He fought here in Oklahoma.
No, but he didn't just fight. He fought there a long time ago, about a month ago, right? Huh?
2 weeks ago.
He fought 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, the 16th, which is 2 weeks from Saturday, last Saturday. So 2.5 weeks.
Wow. Oh, so I didn't know that. So that's why he was in Oklahoma.
Yeah, and
so, but,
he's fought,
he won the fight, right?
3 times this year, so he's got to be in decent shape.
No, he's in fighting shape. If he just come off of a fight, he definitely, is in fighting shape, and that gives him a mental advantage because of the fact that Don hasn't fought in almost a year.
Yeah, it was March 16th.
Oh, okay. So that's why he was gone. So I didn't know. I just know that he wasn't in the gym. I didn't know he had, went off and had a fight. That makes it even more reason for him to fight and not to turn around and say I'm out of shape.
Got a card in Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I just had Ryan Martinez just called in, Jeff, and he's going to see what's up with Mike, so he's going to work on that for us. If not, we'll bring Ryan on here and make him fill it.
Let's bring Ryan on. Yeah, that'd be a good filler.
Yeah, we'll do that. He's going to call real quick. If he doesn't get him, we'll force Ryan. I know he's at work. He said his bosses are there, so he might not be able to be on long, but we'll see if we can bring him in a minute or so. Hey, Jeff, I was offline for a second, so I don't know what I missed, but, with those two not being on the card, what does that say? I know that two females, we've had a lot of female boxers on here before, but Jessica Rakoczy and Maricela Cornejo are both looking to be on the card either the day before or the May 4th card. Does this help the chance of either one? And do you know, is there an update? Are they both confirmed, or are you still hoping?
I think that they're both confirmed because, they're both in the gym and they're both training hard, so I think that it's confirmed. And
do you know which day? Will they be the day before?
More likely, don't get me wrong, it's definitely going to be the day before. They're not going to be on the main event on Floyd's card. I know that.
Right. Well, it should be good either way.
For them. No, it's a great opportunity for both of them.
Yeah, and for women's boxing in general, because like I said, even though it's not, the big card, you have so many people in town, so many media people, so obviously a lot of them are going to attend the fights the day before, and, it'll be a great chance for Jessica to get her name back out there and say, hey, I'm still around, I'm still one of the best fighters in the world, and for Maricela to say, to kind of get her name out there and, announce your arrival on the boxing scene, so that'll be good for either one of them.
No, I agree 100%.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Well, hopefully we get that taken care of. Ashley, what happened with your boy Liddell then? What do you think?
See, my heart is broken. I have no idea. I obviously don't know the situation. This is the first I'm hearing about it, but I'm sure it is hard for him that he fought 3 times already this year, and maybe he just needs a break in training, or I don't know. It's unfortunate because, maybe he's got a better deal in the works. Who knows?
Oh, I don't know how you can have a better deal in the works than me trying to, you're trying to get on the money team and you have a chance to fight on the day before his card. So, who knows?
I know, that was a little sarcasm.
Maybe more information will come out in the future, and hopefully they get the square up. But it'd have been nice to see because we could have seen, if one or the other was the real deal. Because like I said, both of them so far kind of just built their records up on some lesser fighters. So it's nice to see when they step up and challenge someone with some talent. So, but like I said, I see Don in there all the time putting in the work. I haven't seen Liddell too much, and that's why I was under the understanding he trained somewhere else too. But I guess Jeff said, he's working just at Floyd's. He's definitely not in the gym enough, I would think. Jeff, do you think he puts in enough time if that's his only gym?
No, don't get me wrong. The time that you came, he was in Oklahoma fighting, I guess, because basically...
No, but he hasn't been there the last couple of weeks either that I've seen when I've been in there.
No, but I don't know where he was. I just know that I don't care where you at. You still can train. If boxing is your job and you got to fight, you got a date, you train. I don't care where you at.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Ashley, speaking of putting in the work, how's your studies going? When are you done?
It's okay. I had a pretty rough day today. I had a lot of stuff due, and that is now all finished and out the door, so that's good. But, just chugging along, counting down the days now.
And when are your finals?
Finals are the week leading up to and after the Cinco de Mayo fight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, perfect timing then, huh?
Oh, yeah, just great.
Yeah. All right, Jeff, back to, let's flip the new from in here. Next, what we got this month, right? We got April 20th. So when are you getting ready to go to Panama? When are you guys heading back there, and how's it going with Celestino?
I'll be going, we'll be leaving on the 14th.
All right, the 14th, and that's, now typically you go there a little bit longer than that, right? What are you waiting so long to go down there for?
Normally go about maybe 10 days, but it's like he's fighting at home, so it's no need for acclimation or anything like that. So, I mean, and plus, I mean, I have, so many fighters that I can't, I really can't afford to leave them for a whole week, but, I have to now, because, I mean, it is what it is.
All right. And how long, or how's he been looking in camp as far, because some of the, like I said, the one worry I have is a fighter getting older, with that layoff. Any ill effects of that? How's he looking as far as the sparring goes? And all, I mean, I know he works hard as anybody, so I know it's, he's got to be in good shape, but, as far as the sparring and all that kind of stuff.
Nothing wrong. He's looking good. He's looking really good. And he's in with some good sparring. I mean, he's in with the kid, Evangelista. He's the kid that had a split decision loss to Danny Garcia. He's also the same guy that beat, who did he beat? He beat some other name, but he's a kid from London. And of course, he's a 140-pounder. So, I mean, and they're going at it hard. It's not, Celestino don't care about what size the person is. And he's looking good. He's looking real good.
Right. Now speaking of him working with a bigger fighter, one thing I'm curious about, moving over to Floyd, a couple times I've been in there when he's sparring, he's working with bigger guys, which is kind of strange to me, seeing as though he's fighting Robert Guerrero, a guy that's moving up in weight. So what is the strategy with him fighting bigger guys, or sparring with bigger guys?
Well, the strategy is that these bigger guys hit way harder than Guerrero ever will. And believe me, the guys that he's sparring with are better fighters than Guerrero. But the key for using bigger guys is just the fact of you feeling their power, because, and not only that, and that keeps you aware because you don't want to get hit by those guys. You definitely don't want to get hit clean. So I mean, it keeps them more alert, and they're just bigger guys physically. As far as it also helps him knowing that if he can, kind of push these guys around, he won't have no problem pushing Guerrero around.
Right.
I mean, the one guy is about 180 pounds.
Really?
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, but isn't it, Guerrero's not a huge puncher anyway, so. Wouldn't it be, I mean, has he got anybody, as far as speed goes? I mean, not that, he's going to be faster than Guerrero too, but wouldn't, having a smaller guy coming up, wouldn't speed be more of an issue maybe than power?
No, no, Floyd has about 4 different sparring partners. At one time, he had about 7, but he got rid of the ones. He got rid of the weak links. He got rid of. He got the 3 guys that he need now that present. I mean, put it this way. Floyd is like this. Floyd likes tough sparring. He likes guys that can, pretty much hold their own with him. And if you can, if you're not signed with somebody, then he signs you. And he signs you because of the fact that he appreciates the fact that, you didn't, like a lot of guys that spar with Floyd, the first thing they do is they try to go light, they try to go soft, they try to hope that he's going to go soft because they're going soft. But that's the last thing he wants. Floyd wants He wants hard work. And the harder you come, the better for him. You know, and that keeps him sharp.
Well, isn't that what happened with, Jalen Moore and Don Moore are two of them that were sparring partners, right, that ended up, I guess Don's not an officially a money team member, but he's at the gym.
No, yeah. Jalen, of course, was one of his sparring partners. Ishe Smith was one of his sparring partners. DeAndre Lattimore was one of his sparring partners. And all these guys were signed by him. You know, the guy Cuba was signed by him also. He was one of his sparring partners.
Okay. Isn't it, it's got to be hard for those sparring partners, I guess, coming in, because like you said, it's tough. You want to make a good representation of yourself, but, in the back of your mind, you got to be kind of a little bit worried, if I mess this guy up, I don't want to, get him pissed at me and then make things worse on myself. So, I think it's kind of the best of both worlds, a good and a bad thing with Floyd. You got to be worried you can screw your career up, and then on the other hand, even more importantly, you got to figure you can make your career.
Yeah, well, don't get me wrong. The one thing is that, Floyd let it be known that, through the history, is that if you come hard at me and don't try to be passive, hoping that I'm not going to hurt you or that I'm going to exploit you, he just don't want no weak work. He can do without it. That's why all the guys that he had hired previous to the guys that he have now, he got rid of them because he stopped every one of them and had them, he would either stop them or have them throwing up. So they were no good to him.
Yeah. Well, we got a few minutes left here. I guess we're going to go ahead and get Brian here in a minute. Ashley, let's bring you in this. The whole thing, and I guess it turned out to be not as bad as originally thought, but let's spend a minute talking about the Robert Guerrero gun situation. It's kind of strange. And originally it was, I guess, thought to be worse than it really was. It turned out not quite as bad, but Ashley, your take on that and Robert Guerrero, the gun mess there.
Well, I did hear the initial reports, and then I guess the actual story was that, he declared the weapon. He wasn't trying to hide it from the TSA. He was, and, to be honest, I kind of blame Showtime a little bit for thinking that it would be a good idea for him to take this gun, outside of the state that he had it licensed in, and to use it for the promotional video. Maybe use a toy gun, I don't know, but it just seems like with all this gun control stuff, if that's not what you were trying to get attention for, maybe it wasn't the best timing to do something like that. But, it can be very sticky. I had a friend that I went to college with. He went to Yale. He, smart guy. He had his guns registered in his home state. He brought them to college with him and ended up spending a year in prison because he didn't get them licensed properly in the state he had them in. So it can be pretty serious. It's not something you want to mess with.
Yeah, I'm not personally a gun owner, but I would think when you get a gun, you're pretty well schooled in where you can and can't have it. And the one thing I know, even not as a gun owner, I know two places you don't mess with guns are Illinois and New York, as far as taking them there or not being licensed or whatever. So it's still, even though it appears, like you said, he tried to do everything correctly, tried to check him in. Still, man, especially when you have the biggest opportunity in your career coming up, man, you just you take a little stronger precautions, along the way, and especially, I don't know, you're going to have an entourage around you, and there's always going to be people around you. It just kind of seems stupid to me that you had a gun there. Jeff, have you changed your thoughts over the past, week or whatever it was since the story broke?
Don't get me wrong. I still think it's stupid because of the fact that, no matter what, if you reported the gun or not, because realistically, you had no business with a gun. And the one thing is this, is that, like you said, in New York, the penalty is severe. Lil Wayne had to do a year in jail for it. No one knows what the consequences still is for Guerrero. But, I guess it was a moment of I don't know, just I don't want to say blonde because I think Ash is blonde.
You think what?
He didn't have a blonde moment because he's not blonde.
Oh, blonde moment.
Yeah. So, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, but at least he was man enough to go and report it. So that doesn't make it look as bad as it initially sounded. But still, it's still a consequence.
Yeah, and I heard that it wasn't loaded, nor did he have any ammunition on him. So I don't think he had intentions to do anything with it, of course. But I just think it's too much of a headache to even want to deal with, personally.
Yeah. And I think that's the one thing that's going to save him, because I believe, and I'm not an expert, but I believe that would have been a whole different matter if he would have had ammunition on him. That's when he'd have been, really facing a possibility of legitimate jail time. So fortunately for him, he didn't have anything on him. Hey, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get Brian on here, so I'm going to let you carry on the discussion there or wherever you want to go with that. I'll leave you in charge, Ashley. So let me get Brian Vera on the phone, and I'll be right back.
Well, that's scary. I did have a blonde moment, though, yesterday, Jeff, unfortunately. I dented my tire wheel so bad that I had to get a new wheel.
What, you run into a curve?
What'd you say?
You run into a curve?
How did you know?
Because I've had a blind moment a couple times too.
Well, I don't feel so bad about it now. It sounds like you have blind moments too.
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I think I did the exact same thing maybe about a week ago. I did the same thing. I ran into a curve.
What?
Oh no, I thought I had like some spacing, and I didn't turn my wheel enough, and it ran straight into the curve. And I have like high profile tires, and and it was like kind of ugly.
Yep. My rim was messed up, my wheel well was messed up, and it just was not a pretty situation. And of course,
So, did you finish there, Ashley? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and bring on our turns out to be our first guest evening. It was supposed to be our second, but it's supposed to be on last week, but we got him on this week. So fresh off his victory on ESPN Friday night over Donatas Mondes. Brian Vera, welcome back to the show. How you doing, buddy? You're on with myself, Jeff Mayweather, and Ashley Ferreira, who I don't believe was here the last time you were with us.
All right, I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on. I apologize for the last time I got mixed up with doing a different interview. My bad.
Yeah. Ashley was upset because, she doesn't like being second best because she had some questions for you. So I'm going to turn it right over to Ashley so we can... Ashley, I know you had some stuff for him, right?
No, I don't. I think we were all good. I'm not mad. I'm glad you're on now, and congratulations on the victory.
Oh, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian, it's been a long time since you've been on the show. I believe the last time we had you on was right before you fought Sergio Mora for the second time. So, I guess since then, not really much happened for you, has it?
Yeah. Got coming off a couple of big wins, so hopefully everything falls in place here in June.
Yeah, no, you've been on quite a roll since then. You had that victory over Sergio Mora. Then when was that? In January, you had a huge victory over Sergey Janjuric. That was an incredible fight. Friday night probably wasn't your best effort out there, but you did what you had to do. Got through the fight, got the TKO.
What the deal is you need a valve in there.
Okay.
So what we're going to try to do is work it out so we can get you, because you know how it's leaking there? Oh, you're on the
Who's at the mechanic?
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's not a mechanic. That's the plumber. It's plumber, right? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm doing a radio show.
I heard a valve. I don't know.
That's okay. So, what I mean?
new cartridge.
Who's that, you, Jeff?
Okay, can you show me what that is?
Out, and, well, you're not going to be able to replace it.
Well, anyway, Brian, I don't know what's going on here, but Brian, just tell us about the fight. This was kind of supposed to be an easier fight for you. Tell us, were you kind of surprised how tough it ended up being?
Yeah, he was just, I was just too relaxed, man. I think, trying to, thinking I was going to hit with one big shot and get him out of there or something. I just, he was tougher than I thought he was going to be. He couldn't punch or anything, but he just kind of scrappy. He actually wasn't trying to engage in too much, so he kind of pulling out both time, and I don't know, I just got too relaxed in there, man. It was, it was kind of it was easier than what they said on the scoreboard, that's for sure, but I should have not took him so lightly and came in there and got him out of there earlier, but, I'll take the win.
Right. Jeff, I know you got to watch it, and you worked with Brian. What were your thoughts as you got to watch the
fight? Actually, I thought it was a great fight. I mean, it was, some give and take, and it was kind of, kind of like what I expected, Brian. Brian he's a tough guy, and it was like a couple of times he told the guy, come on, let's do it. And they were like both, talking trash to one another. And like I said, I mean, he dug down, and I don't know what he hit that dude with, but I know he went out.
Brian, let me ask you this. I mean, the one thing, you're definitely a master of having exciting fights. This fight was exciting. Mora is not usually a entertaining fighter by any stretch of imagination. You pulled a great fight out of him. Do you think, though, that perhaps at times that you, like I said, this was a guy that was supposed to be just someone for you to fight. Do you think that perhaps you fight to the level of your competition at times?
Yeah, I think I did this time. I definitely didn't plan on doing that, but I kind of came down. I'm not to say that he wasn't a good fighter or anything, but I did kind of fight too for plays and too relaxed, rather than being the guy that I feel like I got to do. When I go in there feeling like I have to do too much, and I go in there trying to get the guy there. This time I was more like, make sure I get the win and try to come out clean and then do all that. But yeah, I think I do better off in the other role. But we're working on that. We're working on that now.
All right. Jeff, as a trainer, let me ask you this. When you see someone that does that, who has the talent, who can beat Andy Lee, Sergio Mora, Sergey, but yet has real battles with someone that's supposed to be a lesser opponent, what can you do to step in and make sure he's always at his peak? Because we know Brian's a hell of a fighter. We've seen it. So if you see a performance where he might fight down to a competitor, what do you do to try to correct that?
I mean, actually, you just got to try to get inside of his head and, let him know the importance of every fight, because that happens. That does happen to certain fighters. Certain fighters that, they feel that, okay, well, I can beat this guy, and sometimes you don't look as good, and sometimes you don't even win, but, mentally, you just got to get inside the fighter's head and let him know that this fight is just as important as the title fight. So, I mean, whatever it is inside you, you got to release it. You got to release it tonight, because tonight might be the night that, puts you in a position to fight for the world title, or a position that knocks you out the rankings where, you're going to have to start all over again.
Right. Brian, and let me ask you this. I mean, did you... was it a case, and you're on ESPN, you're on TV, so I doubt it was, but was it a case that perhaps that you looked at this guy and said, man, I fought better guys than this, and maybe I don't need him? I'm not going to criticize you. Obviously, you won a TKO, so it's not like you fought horribly, but, perhaps you think you maybe overlooked him a little bit?
I don't think I trained like that. I trained hard. I got ready just like I did against Sergio Mora and the other guys, but I was a little too relaxed, I think, walking around the venue like before, and just kind of just thinking way ahead of what it already was. Like, thinking I already won kind of in a way. I didn't take him lightly, I don't think, but I just thought I could just go in and be relaxed. And I mainly just thought I was going to test him with a good shot and he was going to go eventually, like, and let him stay around too long. It was mainly like that, but he was tough. I got to give him credit, you know what I mean? But I think I could have done a lot better than that.
Right. Did that nose he had going into the fight, that had to present a pretty big target for you, huh?
Yeah, because, I mean, it looked like he was already ready to bleed before the fight started, so I was like, you know, it looked like a piece of meat was hanging off it, so. Yeah. But, yeah, it started bleeding right away.
Yeah. Hey, Ashley, I remember what it was that you wanted to say to Brian. Remember last week we thought we'd have him on, you said you were going to say something, you ring-carded one of his first fights or something like that? That's what I was thinking of.
It was Jesse Vargas.
No, but last week with Brian, you said you worked him very early in his career, like in the Contender or something. I don't know what it was. No? Am I completely crazy? All right. Well, I know last week you said you had something to say to Brian about it. You worked one of his events or something, but I don't know. I'm getting old. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Ashley.
No, I know what you're talking about now. I got it. No, I know what you're talking about. I worked gloves and guitars last year. When you fought on that.
Oh, damn! It's 4 words.
Yeah.
Like it's 4 words.
Yeah,
What's that?
I said I appreciate good old Texans. You know, I'm from Texas. Yeah, that was a cool night. They have it was a unique event.
I think that was our Yellow promotions. I think we're talking at the same time.
Perfectly timed to walk on each other. All right, Brian, go first, and we'll let Ashley respond.
No, yeah, I think it was probably Ayala Promotions, I think is what it was.
Yeah, that's what it was. And it was a cool event because what they did was they did a boxing card and coupled it with a concert. So they rolled the ring out of there, and then they put on a concert afterwards. So it was pretty unique.
Yeah, it's different for sure, but I don't think they did very good on the concert part, just for the fact that they did two things. They did 2 things at the same time, but I'm not sure.
All right, Ashley, were you busy studying for finals, or how much of the fight did you get to check out?
Oh no! Well, I mean, I was as much as I could. I had to work Friday night, unfortunately, so I didn't get to see all of it. But I did catch the replays, and I would not have wanted to look at that guy's face bleeding like that for so long. It was ugh.
Yeah, you could. I could smell the whole fight, which is the worst part. Probably it was getting in my mouth and getting in my face, so I didn't really like that too much. But it's a fight, so.
Awful.
It's better your opponent's bleeding than the other one doing the bleeding, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and I know actually, Brian.
How is it when you first? How is it when you're fighting and you see blood? Do you think, oh, I hope that's not me, or I see it on him, so I'm not worried, or how does that go in your head?
No, I think you go. I think you end up. Most people end up going for that target too much, and I got away from not going down to the body. I should have hit him down to the body a lot more than what I did but the fact that he was bleeding so much there, I just kept trying to hit it, but I think it's kind of a distraction, really.
Yeah. But let me ask you. But Brian, really, with it being on his nose and not above his eyes, is it kind of, I know the instinct doesn't go for it, but really it doesn't matter as much, right? Because it's not that it's likely to stop a fight like a cut over the eye would do. Yeah, you're right. But his was, I mean, it was already, like I said, it was already like it was cut before the fight started. So, I mean, eventually it might have been where his nose was like it was going to come off, man. And it was pretty bad. I guess he had like a ligament or a cartilage or whatever hanging out on the outside. So. I've never really seen anything like it till then, so I don't know. Well, now what about yourself? You suffered some pretty nasty cuts. Were you worried going in about your own eye? Was it your left eye? Which one that was cut really bad?
I got cut. I cut in the Xavier fight, a little cut, but it was, it wasn't too bad. But I wasn't too worried about it.
Right. Jeff, let me bring you in here real quick, and I want to get Brian's take on it. The whole the 7th round thing there with the corner. Jeff, what was your thought on it? Do you think the ref handled it right? Just that whole mess, because it was just kind of a bizarre ending to the fight.
I'm kind of drawing a blank.
With the referee, you know, and they were in the corner there. They asked him if he could see. He said he couldn't see, so the referee waved it off.
Oh yeah, and they said, and the guy said that he don't speak Lithuanian or something like that. You know, I kind of remember that now, but no, I thought the guy was hurt. He was hurt bad. You know, but you know, I mean, you can always use, you know, some other kind of excuse if, you know, if the language barrier is different or anything like that. So, I mean, that's what they played on, to try to make it, you know, make it look like, okay, well, he wasn't hurt, but he understood. But he didn't understand what you were saying. But I don't think that was the case.
Right. Well, I mean, you know, the refs, I guess two of them had Brian up by a point. I believe the other one had Mondes up by a point. You know, they did protest, you know, pretty much immediately after that you know, they were good to go. Brian, let me ask you, you know, you're sitting across the ring over there. What did you see, and what were your thoughts on all that?
I mean, I feel like I was pretty much, you know, dominating him, really. I mean, he did those stuff back and then had little flurries, but it looked like he was already ready to get out of there, man. I mean, if there was 3 more rounds to go, I don't think it was going to go all that. But definitely the nose would have gotten worse, and I think he was ready to get out of there. But then they said that he didn't speak English very well, but at the press conference the day before, I mean, he spoke perfect. I mean, he was up there talking to the media and speaking like he was talking like me. You know what I mean? So that was all just talk, man. I don't know.
I mean, do you think that, you know, that the controversy, or you know, maybe, you know, you don't think it should be controversial, but you know, for some people it is. Do you think that in any way detracts it all from the win for you, or, you know, hey, to you it's just another TKO and you're on your way to bigger and better things?
I think so. I think all that matters is the win. You know, like, after, people are going to forget that. You know, at the end of the day, on paper, it says I will beat him by TKO. And the problem is the promoters really worry too much about all that. I think they want to make good fights, and if you win, you win. You know, I mean, they're not going to. I don't think it's going to hurt me by any means.
Right. Well, you know, when you were here, I guess it was last year sometime. You know, you were kind of a little bit on the downslope right then. You like I said earlier, you've had some ups and downs, but you're on a huge upswing right now. I mean, you were kind of somebody that, you know, you're an afterthought to most people. Now, you know, like I said, you've been on this roll. You beat Mora, you beat Sergey. You know, you win this fight here. You know, what do you attribute to your career resurgence? And, you know, I mean, how exciting does that kind of be? You know, to kind of get that second chance at a great career.
Oh, it feels good. You know, I think it's just mainly just changing what I do as far as going to training camp away from my house, away from my home, and secluding myself a little bit, and then really dedicating myself and being around some good sparring and stuff. I think a lot of times you're around good fighters, you pick up a lot of things out there with Ronnie and them. You know, you got a lot of talented fighters out there, and you tend to pick up what they do, and they pick up things you do, and you get good sparring and all that. So I think a lot of that has to do with what's been going on.
Right. Now, Jeff, we talked earlier about, you know, Brian kind of fighting the level of competition, but let me ask you this. You know, Brian, like I said, you know, especially his last handful of fights has been in nothing but exciting fights. I mean, action-packed. And I know as a trainer, you got to absolutely hate that because you don't like those exciting fights, just like you said with the Alvarado Rios thing. Yeah, their careers aren't going to last that long fighting like that. So, you know, what do you think of Brian's style and him always go out there putting on those exciting fights? I mean, great for fans, but kind of worrisome for a trainer, right? Or no?
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, that's what the fans want. So, I mean, me, myself, of course, I'd rather see a fighter win, you know, more precision-type fight rather than a guts and glory fight. I mean, that's just me because I was a boxer and that's how boxers think, you know. But at the end of the day, you know, those are the type of fights that actually become, you know, fighter of the year and things like that. So, I mean, to be involved in those type of fights, I mean, it can be very, very rewarding, you know. And so I think that there's nothing wrong with being in those type of fights. You don't want to have too many of them because your career can be shortened. But, you know, I mean, just like, you know, Alvarado and Rios, I mean, they gave their blood and guts. I mean, both guys. I mean, they've done it 2 times. you know, and you know, hopefully that, you know, it doesn't actually shorten their careers.
All right. So now, Brian, what you know, I know one name you'd mentioned that you'd like to get in there next, and to your credit, you know, you're willing to fight anybody. You know, Triple G's out there. I know you said you want to fight him. What are you hoping for next? And I mean, what are you looking at?
Well, they're in negotiation now with Chávez Jr. in June, at the end of June. So I guess it was me or Matthew Macklin, and Matthew Macklin is gonna. They passed him up because I guess he was requiring too much money. I don't know exactly what, but his requirements too high, you know. So I'm the only one left now. So now my manager Dave in Banner Promotions is working with Ballroom, I guess, to try to figure out if we can make that happen somewhere in Texas. So we'll see.
Well, no, I was just getting ready to say you're not going to have that fight in Texas, are you?
Yeah, I think it's what they want to have it in Texas, man. So there's almost San Antonio. So what's that?
I said Top Rank Book San Antonio for June. It's on the Texas licensing website.
Oh, so it is locked in then.
Yep. Where the Spurs play.
What's that?
Alamo Dome.
No, the Spurs
play.
Yeah,
the 22nd or the 19th, one of those?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think that's what they're trying to do. So that's right down the street from my hometown. So if that's the case, man, I'm willing to do it.
Now, Jeff, he's a Texas guy. I'm sure he'd love to fight at home, but didn't we have this conversation, Jeff? I don't think I'd be too willing to fight Chávez Jr. in Texas, where the testing's a little less stringent.
Well, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, in Texas, it seems like, you know, the fighters have more control than the commission. You know, when you have James Kirkland, who just flat out says, I'm not taking no test. You have Chávez Jr., who says flat out, I'm not taking no test. I mean, what is their commission there for? If you have fighters that can actually, you know, dictate what they're going to do, it makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, Brian, you know, on the one hand, obviously it's a huge opportunity for you. I mean, to fight someone, you know, with that name value, you know, it would be a great payday for you. But, you know, and obviously Texas is a logical place to have it since you guys, you know, both have the Texas connection there. But is any part of you a little worried about, you know, taking on Chávez Jr. when he doesn't fare too well with drug tests outside of Texas, but somehow manages to make it through in Texas?
You're right, man. It would. Okay.
I was going to say he made it through because they forgot to actually test, so.
Yeah. I don't know. We'd obviously have to talk to my manager and try to figure out a way to. They'd have to figure out a way to put something in the contract, which I guess contracts don't really mean nothing down here. But I just have to take the opportunity, man, and just prepare myself the best that I can and do what I got to do, you know. So, but it would just be a hard fight to pass up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, Jeff, if you were, obviously, you know, Chávez Jr. is going to dictate the terms of that fight. But if you were handling Brian, how would you handle that? I mean, obviously it's obviously, you know, a huge payday opportunity for him. I would say the biggest fight of his career as far as you know a named fighter and that kind of thing. So how would you handle that?
I mean, basically, the only thing you can really do is, you know, you can mandate, you know, testing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think that they're willing to do it because of the fact that Chávez has been caught red-handed here in Vegas. And so, to look like they're a fair commission, you know, I think that they're willing to make those exceptions for, you know, especially if Chávez is involved. Because, they would be asinine not to, having a guy that's, you know, been actually proven, you know, to be caught dirty with, you know, performance-enhancing drugs. A guy's been caught with, you know, with weed in the system, you know. And you have grounds. You have grounds to, you know, put that in the contract and make that a stipulation in the contract.
All right. Ashley, you're the aspiring law student. What would you do if you're handling Brian to make sure he gets a fair shake?
Well, I mean, it's boxing, so there's no guarantee that you're ever going to get a fair shake. Unfortunately, that's the sport.
So there's no like stipulations you think you could add in there that would at least guarantee him a? I guess, like you said, there's no guarantees. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing you could do is put in a rematch clause. So if you do get screwed, rematch him and fight him somewhere else. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of.
But, like them both being Texas, guys, I mean, really doesn't make any sense. I mean, the only other place you could probably do it is maybe in Mexico, I guess, both you being, Hispanic. I don't know.
Yeah, but, I won't be rolling that way.
What's that?
I don't think I'll be going to Mexico.
No.
Nah.
Well, let me ask you this, Brian. I mean, you're like I said, you're on a roll here lately. You're making a name for yourself. What are your goals for the next, few years while you're still in your prime there, and what else do you want to accomplish?
Obviously I want to win a world title. I want to get a big fight. Chávez Jr. is obviously a big name and somebody that can lead me that way. So, I would love to take that fight. Obviously, it'd be a lot of controversy with being in Texas and stuff, but I would have to just take the opportunity and take the chance. Well, obviously not going to fight in Vegas because he didn't want to go back to Vegas, I don't think. So, but, I definitely, I'd like to win that fight and then go on and fight for a world title.
Right. Why? Let me ask you this. Why did you fight? What was the reasoning behind fighting Bondas here? I mean, your last fight, you defended your NABO title there against Sergey. What was the reasoning for this fight? Was this kind of a stay busy fight, or what was the purpose of it?
That's exactly. There was another guy that was supposed to fight Bondas. What's his name? I forgot his name, but he got hurt, and there was still 6-7 weeks to get ready for it. So he called Ronnie, my manager, and said, would y'all like to take the fight as an opponent, so Brian can stay busy and we can put him for the maybe either Chávez or go Austin. So we went ahead and just took it and got ready. It was definitely a risk and a chance, but I mean every fight is. So we just took it.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jeff, just before as we wrap up the show here, the same thing I kind of asked Brian there. What if you were guiding him? Where he's at in his career, what would you do with him?
I mean, basically, of course, the Chávez fight would be great. It's actually almost like, fighting for the world title, And, of course, if he could get the win, I mean, that would be a stamp of approval. And, of course, the next payday would be, tremendous. But, I mean, I think that at this point, I would just keep chunking, and the opportunities are going to come, But I mean, I don't think that I would be taking high risk fights for small money. He's in a position now where he should be getting paid. He should be getting paid, a decent payday for the guys that he's going to fight, whether they have names or not. Even just fights just to stay active until the opportunity comes.
Right.
So that's what me as a manager, that's what I would do.
Right. Yeah. Then, like you said before, you never know. You accidentally slip up and get a loss there, and then a huge payday, against someone like a Chávez or whatever. All of a sudden that's out the window. So I can definitely see that. You mentioned a title, Brian, before. I mean, you mentioned you'd be willing to fight Triple G. I mean, how important? That's the new guy. The guys get all the press. Is there somebody that? I mean, do you really want to get in with him at some point? And how do you think you match up with him?
I think, with somebody like him, the last couple of guys he fought are guys that run around and they're not gonna sit there and trade with him. I don't think there's a smart way to, but I think the best way would be to smother his punches. Obviously, I have to go back to camp and get ready, but you have to stay in tight and make him miss, smother his punches, and make him look bad. But running around and showing him that you're scared of him is definitely not the way to do it, And I don't even know if I could do that anyway. I don't think that's my fight style at all. But I would definitely have to figure out how to get in close and cut his punches short, make them short, and try to make him look bad.
Well, Excuse me. Sorry about that. Well, I'm sure it'll definitely be an exciting fight either way. Actually, as we wrap up here, do you have any further questions or anything, Brian, that you want to say?
No, just thank you for having me.
What? No, go ahead, Ashley.
Oh, you're fine. I thought you were talking to me.
No, I was talking to you, Ashley. I was going to say, did you, we're wrapping up here. Do you have anything else you want to add or say to Brian as we wrap up?
Yeah, no, I just, I do hope that you fight in Texas again because, I do love going to those Texas fights, and obviously you're fun to watch. So, good luck. I hope you get the Chávez Jr. fight, and more importantly, I hope you get a fair shake.
All right, thank you. Maybe we'll see you there.
Hey, Brian, just, we'll let you go here, but just real quick for your fans, people want to keep up to you, with you, just give them the rundown on the social media stuff, Twitter, all that kind of stuff, where they can keep up with you.
Yes, Twitter's BV Warrior, and then just Brian Vera on Facebook, and then BV Warrior on Instagram.
All right, and anything else you want to add?
No showers.
Oh, okay.
No what?
Hey,
No, I'm not talking to you.
What are you talking about, taking a shower, Jeff? What is that?
No. I'm talking about because I have a leak in one of my showers.
I thought he said, Brian, I thought he was saying you wanted to take a shower with you, Brian. I know I was getting a little creeped out.
Hey, Jeff, if you see my boy King Mo, tell him I said what's up, man.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, Jeff, I'll let you handle that. You see Jeff Mo all the time. Jeff?
Yes, I do.
Jeff, are you there? We're letting our guests go. What, we lose you or what?
What?
I apologize on Jeff's behalf, Brian.
I'm not mean no more. I'm nice.
He said if you see King Mo, tell him, what's up.
I said I'm gonna tell him. Of course.
All right. Jeff, anything else you have for Brian as we let him go here?
No, I just, I wish him continued success. Keep working hard, but like I said, don't take, big risks for small money. Because you're there. You're right at the cusp of, fighting for a world title. So, I mean, you want to, keep that position in lock.
Yes, sir.
All right, Brian. Well, we hope to get you back on maybe next time, especially if you're going to get that Chávez fight. We'd love to have you on before that showdown and talk a little about that. And we appreciate you joining us tonight.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
All right, Jeff, just send him on his way.
Bye.
All right, that was Brian Vera. Thanks so much to him for joining us. So, going to wrap it up tonight. Again, we'll do our typical, we'll go around the horn here. Ashley?
You can follow me on Twitter at Ashley Ferreira or on Instagram at Ashley Ferreira. And I do want to thank everybody who voted in the Ring Magazine Ring Card Girl March Madness competition. I advanced to the, I guess we're calling it Elite 8. And on Thursday, I will be competing to get into the Final Four. So if you go on thering.com, you can find out where to vote for that on Thursday. So I hope you all do.
Wait a minute, I thought that was over.
No, it's like a bracket. So
I was looking at the wrong thing. Well, we got to promote that. So, well, we're going to have to get some stuff out there on the website then to make sure we can get you into the Final Four and win that thing. All right. Well, yeah, definitely vote for Ashley on there. And Ashley, I think we're going to be stuck maybe having to co-host a show alone for a week when Jeff's in Panama.
Oh, no.
I think you'll be stuck with me. Yeah. Or maybe we can just pre-tape a show or something, and we'll see. Jeff, how about you? See if you can get it this week. You didn't do so well last week.
Follow me on Facebook, and you can follow me on Twitter at Jeff Mayweather 1. And yeah, that's what I think.
All right. All right, Jeff, figure that out. You can also visit him at his home. What is your address in Washington there? Oh.
No, you can't do that.
All right, we just talk him on Facebook then. And of course, follow us on Twitter at PB Insider and at Pro MMA Insider. Apologies for not having Mike Alvarado on. Hopefully we can fix that for next week. And again, thanks so much to Brian Vera, and we will talk to you all again next week. And Ashley, I'll send this out. We're going to make this our new walk-away music. See you next week.